Oh, shit. I still haven't brought in the faders up. It's just appear.
Oh.
Hello!
Boom! Whoa!
Hello and welcome, everybody. This is our live discussion of last week's episode of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 5.
I had to count all your fingers there just to be
Yep.
sure.
And we'll give you our thoughts of what's going to happen tonight in the finale. But as always, first off, Michael, give me your thoughts of last week's episode. Just general overall.
Say hi to Kushal.
Hey,
first.
Kushal, welcome. Good to see you again, bud.
Bring that chat screen up so
Yeah,
that we
it
can
does
see it a
need
little bit better. My eyes are just not working quite as well as they used to do.
It's some good, strong...
What were we talking about?
give me your general overview of what you thought about
The-
something that happened last week.
The overview.
Yeah, tell me what you thought about last week's episode.
I liked it because it was fine. Again, it's just another running theme, I guess, with my reviews of all of these shows. It wasn't specifically like anything. It just a little bit of a down episode, just to give us a little bit of a breath before the storm. Although it did start with a really impressive fight and action sequence, something that I wasn't expecting. Though I didn't think they'd do that. I didn't think
Kind of threw the whole makeup of how
Yeah.
a show is done on its head.
I didn't realize we were going to have bring the whole action with one character with Walker to a head so soon, and then just spend a whole episode just kind of being like, oh yeah, let's build some characters here. Let's do a little bit of character development. I actually thought so far throughout the season they've done a very good job of actually subtly developing the two characters in a pretty strong and dynamic way, but also quite subtle at the same time. Whereas this whole episode, it almost felt like they were like, well, we forgot to add character development, so we better address all of these things. We gotta have them drinking beers together and showing a little bit of camaraderie. And I'm like, they kind of been doing that, haven't they, this whole time? I don't know. It's an interesting episode. I don't see myself watching it again.
Even though we did.
Yeah, but okay, but we did that for the purposes of this show.
Yes, we did.
I have to. Well, I'm not quite done, and so I feel like, yeah, it was it was good because it was unexpected. It was good because it wasn't bad. You know, there's nothing like I'm gonna really complain or criticize this episode for, but it was just, yeah, it was fine.
I tend to agree with you. Yeah, I actually tend to agree with you a lot there.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I'm actually finding it real hard to explain what I
The-
overall feel about this
I
episode.
liked how they threw the conventional format of a show on its head, where you basically start off slow first act, builds in the middle act, then you have a finale in the third act. Even in TV shows, that happens. I like the fact that here they didn't miss a beat. They were like, no, straight into action of what happened last week and the repercussions of last week, and then a really good set piece fight scene between the three of them. What I did like about that, though, is how they first approached it. And
Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it in a week.
the fact that Sam's trying to talk him down and Bucky is just stood there silent, and then something just snaps in John Walker and he's like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. You almost had me there.
Well, let's okay, then.
Well, no, I'm gonna go. So, and then you have the action.
Overall,
Yeah,
spoiler free.
Okay,
Please.
yeah. Okay, so then you have the action, and then, like you say, it then tapers down, and in fact, there is no more action for the rest of the episode. It's all. I like your analogy of trying to cram character development into it.
That's not an analogy. That's just an observation.
Oh, your observation. The one I don't think we needed as much of the Sam Bucky stuff, but this, I've been bashing on John Walker for like this entire review that we've been doing of this show. This episode was John Walker's episode. This was real good character development. We delve deeper into it, into how he feels. We get all the parts with his court martial. Then you get he goes to see Lamar's family and that kind of stuff. No, we're going to go into it in detail, but I like the way...
You've already started!
I like the way they developed John Walker to the point where I actually like him now as a three-dimensional character.
So overall, you like this episode. Good.
Um,
Okay.
It's middle ground for me. It's not episode 3 and 4, but it's better.
That's why I find it hard to describe. So I didn't. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just, but it feels kind of episodic in a otherwise overarching storyline.
If this was a movie, it would be the middle of the movie lull where they just flesh stuff out before they ramp up.
So hold on,
The calm before the storm.
So if we're just gonna go into a big blathering of open conversation, I'm gonna digress. So I pointed out that I feel like that they made a trilogy with these 6 episodes. They've made essentially just like with Iron Man 1 through 3, Thor 1 through 3. Captain America 1, 2, 3, and all these movies all end up having trilogies. There'll be a Spider-Man trilogy. There'll be a Doctor Strange trilogy. They made in just 6 episodes on a TV series a trilogy. The first 2 episodes were the first movie. This middle 2 are the second movie, and then the first movie begins with this big action set piece that carried on over from the cliffhanger of the second movie, and it's quickly dealt with before we have like a nice. Sort of.
But that's also what I think what they did with WandaVision, and I think they'll do with Loki.
This is more like clear, though.
It is, but what
with WandaVision, each episode does have very distinguishing features to it.
But they were what, 25 minutes long, 25 to 30 minutes long.
They were about
roughly?
20 to 30
and there was 9
minutes long
of
in
them.
the first 3 episodes. Then the first episode that was a little longer was episode 4, which was about 40 minutes, and but they kept getting longer and longer as it went on.
I think Marvel wanted to tell a movie of the Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision, but realized that it would have been better to or cheaper or get to more people by doing it as a
You want to address
TV
that?
show. Could you guys later explain what the deal with Sharon Carter is? Oh yeah, well we'll
I
definitely
don't
get
know.
that. Well, I've said for weeks
Yeah.
who she is, but we'll get on to that in a minute.
But
Anyway,
the top off my point though that I was making about how this feels like a trilogy of movies almost, not a 6-part series. It feels more like a trilogy of movies, and I won't know how that really pans out until we get tonight's episode. But that's the distinguishment I made, and why this episode was hard for me to really say that whether I liked it or not. I liked it. Yeah, I liked it, but it's just very different from what we've got, and almost
3 and 4 were definitely the
almost
strongest.
feels like the middle act of a third movie.
Yeah, episodes 3 and 4 we both discussed were definitely the strongest of the episodes so far. I think this one was middle ground.
It fits in more with episode 1 a little bit. In that it's kind of just
setting the scene for what's to come.
Exactly. It's almost like they need to have all the boxes checked and all the doors closed and make sure everything's all clean and tidy and ready to go before we have our
For
finale.
Skybeam. How they So we joked that it'd be funny that if they put a Skybeam into WandaVision, but there was a Skybeam. So how do we think a Skybeam's going to fit into this?
John Walker.
John Walker becomes a Skybeam.
When the shit shield collides with the good shield.
All right. Anyway, we'll get onto that later on. Anyway, take us through the episode and we'll talk about what we liked, what we didn't like.
4's episode 5.
And join us in the comments and let us know what you liked.
So, what was this episode called again? Faith, was it? No.
Truth.
Episode
5.
Truth. I usually write them down. I forgot this time. I'm pretty sure the episode was Truth, but we're using our phones as cameras right now, so I don't have the results.
So I have no knowledge whatsoever. I can't think for myself because I don't have my phone in my hand.
Well, no, I mean I use it as a dictionary and encyclopedia. You fool! Bring up, if you can, the episode title. The shit.
Yeah.
Could you bring up the episode guide?
Excuse me.
Episode 5, I think Truth, opens with Walker now on the run, mind you. So after the cliffhanger of the previous episode where he kills someone sort of in cold blood, I mean, he was running away, but they were kind of fighting. He only started to run away when he realized, oh shit, the guy's got the serum. But yeah, anyway, that's last week's episode. It opens up with him now on the run as a result of that, because obviously, yeah, he knows he's done something wrong. But we do get a moment with him, though. He walks into that warehouse, and before anyone shows up, we get this kind of is it PTSD? I don't know, but
it is truth.
Just
it's realization of what he'd just done.
Yeah, but also though he was thinking about his friend though having been killed too as well. It was like a very it was essentially just a moment showing us that he
was in shock.
He's wrecked right now. His mind is completely mush, and he is literally in fight or flight. And as we find out once our two main characters show up. So they enter the warehouse, and he knows they come in, and he tries to calm himself down, and he's like, "All right, time to go to work," or what he says, a cliche.
Yeah, the one that Lamar said.
Yeah. Anyways, they both come in, they confront him, and they're like, "This is bad, Walker. This is not good." And of course, it's not good. And they're essentially trying to see if they can get him to give himself up.
Well, did you see the very first line of that exchange is a deflection line from Walker, where before they even get a chance to say anything and say what he's just done, he says to Sam, "You should get that scene to you look injured."
Mm-hmm.
To try and deflect straight away from what's just happened.
Well, to try to show that he's indifferent.
He's still in control.
Yeah.
Whereas we know that he was never in control.
But he's also kind of he's planning ahead to try and make it look like what he did was justified.
Yeah.
Already. So it's like, so the first step in doing that is talking to someone and so nothing's wrong. Like, yeah, well, okay, well, you should get that checked too. Excuse me. And for a moment you do feel bad for Walker until he opens his mouth again. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts too.
And you get that from Sam as well. He's trying to talk him. It came across a lot to me what Sam's talk. He's trying to talk him down off the ledge. It's like Sam can see that John Walker's at a precipice of going over the edge and becoming full on bad guy, and he's trying to do his best, even though he doesn't really know the guy. But because Sam's a nice guy, he's trying to bring him back. He's trying to bring him back into the fold. Trying to say, listen, we'll sort this out. You just got to explain your previous history. This is my list, by the way, down here. Previous history will come into count. But then he ruins it. And the thing that snaps him is Sam says, "You got to give me the shield." And that instantly.
And I was like, oh, so that's what this is.
Well, no, he goes, "Oh, I see. I see what you're trying." You almost had me there, as if Walker now thinks that they had ulterior motives because they just want the shield back. And that was not the case at all. Sam was truly trying to save basically Walker's soul. And then Walker obviously snaps and he's like...
Saving his soul?
Yeah. Because Sam could see he was at the precipice of going into full fucking Marvel villain mode. And he was trying to save his soul and keep him as one of the good guys.
Oh, okay.
And then Walker obviously snaps. And then we throw it down.
I just wrote down, fine.
Well, it's like he goes, "You guys don't really want to do this." And as much as Walker is an arrogant soldier, and he might be a well-trained Marine, he's not the Winter Soldier. Bucky's a super soldier, trained assassin, who can throw down with Captain America, the real Captain America.
Well, and he has the real serum as well. He
Yeah.
doesn't have whatever this hybridized version that we
So-
have now is.
Walker's arrogance of thinking that he could take out Bucky is right up there with his character, and his arrogance of that he believes he's Captain America.
I don't think he so much believes. I think it's more of a fight or flight situation. I think it's he knows he should realistically just back down
And give the shield up.
and give the shield up, but he's also he knows that he's kind of fucked up and gone a little bit too far. Because I mean, he ends up getting court-martialed,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about that later.
But then we have the fight.
Yeah. So I wrote down two notable things about this fight because I thought that the
Oh, hi, like it is. How's it been? Not seen you in a while.
Hello.
Hope you're doing well.
Welcome.
Have you been enjoying the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Anyway, carry on.
I think that the special effects of this scene were really, really weird.
Right,
They
so
looked like
the
the
Falcon flying.
Nintendo 64 graphics sometimes.
Yeah, the Falcon flying. I don't know whether it's because he was in a enclosed space. It looked weird.
I'm not sure if it was a visual effect or if it was some just really shoddy looking wire work.
No, it was visual effect. Wire work you can generally tell because the movement might not look right. It was the fact that he. It was the fact that the actual his body and shape didn't look right. It looked like a cartoon.
It looked like a Nintendo 64 cutscene.
Looked like GoldenEye. But yeah, it was a pretty decent fight.
So, yeah, well, but yeah, it's a fight. I did my favorite part of the fight. So I wrote down two things. You get some dialogue, which is good. It's very Vader versus Luke in that sense. It's a fight which is not about necessarily so much the spectacle of the fight. It's more about the implications and the stakes of the fight. And so I really like it when he turns around and he screams and he's like, "Why are you making me do this?"
Yeah.
Like, because he sees of course, he's in fight or flight. He sees in his mind,
He's
like,
the one.
there's a way out of this. I'm Captain America, right? Yeah, I did what Captain America should do.
Yeah, you shouldn't be fighting me.
Yeah. So he really, really is trying to get them to think, I am a good guy. You shouldn't be doing this. Don't make me fight you. And then he almost kills Sam, mind you, as well. Don't forget.
Well, he gets Sam into the same position he had the Flag Smasher, and he was going for the same
He's gonna go
killing blow. Like it is, he's having a watch party tonight for the finale. I hope that goes well.
Yeah, we're reviewing last week's episode right now, so there is no spoilers. We will be watching the episode probably as soon as it goes live.
We'll come up with some theory crafting at the end. The one thing about the fight I didn't like was Bucky's arm breaking. I'm like, what? That's supposed to be a vibranium Wakandan super technology arm, and he gets thrown against the steel pillar and it breaks. I'd be wanting a call about my extended
arm. Is that
arm.
what that was? I thought there was some sort of magnet shenanigans going on there.
No, it breaks and then it kind of like has electricity, like it's like glitching out. So I know what they were trying to do. They basically wanted a reason to have Bucky out of the fight for the next 45 seconds while Sam fights him.
Hold on, you're saying that it's a vibranium arm, yeah, but it's still mechanical though.
Yeah.
So like the vibranium won't protect it from mechanical failures. Like I'm sure the circuitry won't be made out of vibranium.
No,
it's a mechanism. It's not just a piece of metal.
When he gets hit by Cap's not Cap, Iron Man's
vibranium shield versus a vibranium
yeah, but it's not.
arm
It's
well.
not. He doesn't get hit by the shield. John Walker throws him against the steel pillar in the warehouse.
Still,
and
though,
it twitches.
it's a mechanism. It's not just a piece of vibranium. There's other components to it.
Yeah, but if getting hit against a steel beam, that's pretty shit.
Can you tell me though why that's wrong?
Well, that would be a really crappy fucking super soldier arm.
But it's a mechanism. It's got moving parts in it. It's got circuits and stuff. Right?
So
right. If you build a tank, right, it's gonna take
and you throw it against a steel pillar.
Right. No, but a tank's gonna take hits, right? It's gonna take a whole bunch of hits. But is all the computers and stuff and everything inside are they gonna also have their fair share of wear from the violence of getting hit
I will put this to you. His vibranium arm is thrown against a steel girder. That's a shitty arm if all the bad guy needs is a steel bat and he can beat Bucky on the arm and break his arm. It just didn't fit.
But that's still not though. Like that's what you're just saying. Oh, it's a shit. The whole point of that is to show that it is impervious.
The whole point of that was to put Bucky out of action for 45 seconds so you could have the Falcon now fighting for a bit and then Bucky show back up. That was the whole point of that. They'd have been better making it look like he'd just been.
I don't think you're right there.
Yeah. No, it was because he gets knocked down and then he's out.
It's to show that
and then
this thing isn't
because
completely
this leads up to the part where Sam's about to get killed. So it's to have Bucky out of the way.
Well,
so John Walker.
Two things can be achieved from doing that.
Yeah, but there'd have been better ways of doing it. Just make him look like he got dazed and confused or knocked out. Have his head hit the fucking steel post.
So I'm saying that can do two things as well. It doesn't just because it was a way to get him out of the fight for 45 seconds doesn't mean it isn't also a way to illustrate that his arm can be broken and damaged and it isn't perfect.
Yeah, I just thought it was shit.
Yeah, I know you did. Like you haven't made a good counter argument to anything I've said other than it's a shit arm.
Throwing him against a steel girder, his vibranium arm should not have broke.
Moving on. So they.
I'm not wearing black today as well, Michael. First stream ever.
Yeah, they ultimately take over and team up. And have a very good, essentially, almost like a wrestling team move on him. He kind of reminded me of the Dudley Death Drop.
If I remember right, doesn't Bucky grab him by like the feet and swing him like a baseball bat?
He kind of like lifts him up,
and then Sam hits him with a shield.
And then doesn't Sam just
flies into him with a shield?
He flies at him using his wings, super arms. He's still got the shield at that point.
And he hits him with the shield.
Sure.
So basically, Bucky throws him into the shield.
It's the end of Walker, though. It puts Walker down.
Well, is it the end of Walker?
Well, it's the end of Walker in that fight. It puts him down, and that's that. It's over. It's done, John Walker.
Then nothing really happens for the rest of the episode.
Well, we have a quick scene of Bucky and Sam just kind of chilling but for a split second, then Torres shows up to tell, and Bucky's like, "Yeah, well, I gotta go do my own thing," and he walks off, and we'll find out what that is later. But then Torres explains to Sam that it's no longer under his.
The government stepped in basically.
Yeah, we've come in and taken over. We're gonna get the shield. We're gonna take the shield back, and he points out as well. It's like, oh, what happened to these? And it's the wings, because one of the wings got broken off by John Walker.
John rips them both off.
I keep wanting to call him Johnny Walker.
Johnny
Walker,
the whiskey, yeah. He rips them both off. When he's straddled them, he grabs them and he rips them both off like
I thought he only ripped off one.
No, he rips off both.
Okay, so he rips them both. They're broke.
Yes. Tony Stark tech is broke. What he needs is some vibranium wings that don't break easy.
Well, that's my. What do you? Don't you be throwing out
That's
my
stealing
theories.
your shit.
You think he's going to be 100% Captain America? I think he's going to be.
No, I think he's
Captain America.
All right.
So then we go again to a court-martial scene of John Walker basically getting discharged from the military for the things he did.
And court-martials don't happen like that, by the way.
Well, like with people around.
So a court-martial.
He was in the military.
Yeah. First
he
off,
got court-martialed.
No, I didn't, you fucking liar. So
how do you know?
So first off, a court-martial is a military court. It's not run by fucking senators and the head of the GRC, which is dumb as shit. It would be in front of other army officers.
So then maybe it's not quite a court-martial.
Well, no, they call it a court-martial.
Yeah,
it's court-martial proceedings.
Because even as someone who doesn't know anything about the military,
and
really,
he's
I will
other
tell
than
you
honourable discharge.
that does seem weird that it is the head of the GRCs. That does. Isn't there
Who's
some?
probably a senator?
Aren't there some like admirals and generals and stuff there too, or whatever? Or is it
there's just random people
just looking at the GRC guy?
And you got a full courtroom of nobodies. A court-martial is a military court.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't also have like actual public.
No, it would just be military people.
Yeah.
So,
and because his wife's there,
and it's not him stood at a podium.
Would his wife be there?
His wife might be there, but it's not him stood at a podium. It's a court-martial is a court. So he would be sat there with his military lawyers, and there would be a military prosecution. Now, if it was
Mr. Plot device complainer, it's just a plot device, just to show
him
us
to meet Agatha.
Well, first off, he kind of doubles down on his defense. It's almost similar to the encounter with Bucky and Sam.
Oh yeah, he's 100%.
Where he's like, first he's almost fooled by what he's hearing from the committee and from the group that are judging him and whatnot, and he's like sitting there and in contemplation, and then something that they say makes him spike up and be like, "No, I am Captain America." And
he's basically pissed because he's devoted his entire life to the military, done everything they've always told him to do, and how he's supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And now the way he sees it, they're throwing him under the bus and using him as a scapegoat, as a betrayal. Whereas actually, no, you murdered someone with Captain America's shield.
No one asked
on
you
the
to
internet.
necessarily go in and kill someone. However, this was my defense of him last week, though, and I still kind of stand by it. I still don't think it was a cold-blooded kill. It's cold-blooded in the fact the guy was running away and he'd given up.
And it wasn't even the person that killed Lamar.
That's what's so cool about that scene. It's like, because he even says he's so disorientated, he doesn't know.
It's Carly who punches Lamar.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it a cold-blooded kill.
Yeah.
And that's why after this scene, he basically flips and says, "Fuck you, peace
But
out,
ultimately,
I'm gone."
isn't his actual mandate to go out there and essentially crush the Flag Smashers? He's not supposed to bring them all in.
No, he's supposed to bring them all in.
Okay.
Militaries don't necessarily give out
Well,
kill orders.
Captain America, in his mission in the Winter Soldier, they kill people on that ship. Or more to the point, Natasha kills people
because they're first off they're.
I mean, Cap Cap kicks people into the sea and shit.
First off, they're Shield, and they're not the U.S. Army. Which Captain America now with John Walker is a member of the U.S. Army.
Yeah, okay. Now that clarifies it enough for me.
Yeah.
All right, so then Linda from Seinfeld shows up.
Yeah, Julianne Dreyfus.
Probably Agnes.
So this is our theory. So
it's not. I said this is a joke. I was being facetious.
So when she shows up, first off, she's got the kind of demeanor of Agnes, but then we noticed she had purple hair.
The purple
so
hair
that must mean
she's
100%. She is Agnes, and she's trying to get John Walker on her side to come help her free her from whatever torment that Wanda put her in.
No, I just straight up think she already broke free of that, and she's like,
oh, now she's just trying to find.
I don't know. It's not her. I just wrote probably Agnes as a joke because it's just like, yeah.
She's obviously the leader of some
Can you
other...
imagine if this spirals out of control and we go viral tonight and now all of a sudden people are like, have you heard of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier Agnes theory? Yeah.
For two fucking... One stoned and one slightly inebriated.
Well, the end of my theory is that it's Agnes, but then you find out after that Agnes is actually just Mephisto.
No. We all know who Mephisto is. He's the third bullet that Bucky drops later on the ground. He was hiding in plain sight all along.
Or maybe Mephisto was all the Mephistos we met along the way.
Maybe they were all Mephisto. There you go.
Okay, so Linda from Seinfeld basically tells him that, hey, look, you're valuable now to a lot of different people.
Well, yeah, because she knows he's got the super soldier.
She's basically telling him that, yeah, the military discards you, but that's no reason why,
she
can't still use your abilities.
She's a liaison for some kind of shadow, dodgy organization.
And she kind of like slyly lets him, she plants the seeds of this, I can help you get going and use your powers if you want. Here's my card. Contact me if you need to. But before she goes...
No, she actually says, you've made two good decisions in your life. One was taking the serum, but the other one is answering the phone when I call you. She's going to call him.
Yeah, okay, fair. But that's what's funny, because she gives him a card and he notes that it's blank. But before she runs off, though, she does kind of drop the bomb that you were already pointing out, because you're like, yeah, the shield doesn't belong to the military. I don't get it. And then she
says it's a grey area.
And she says it doesn't belong to the government.
And you were like, well, no, it's not. But I was like, well, no, actually, in
I Captain America to the Smithsonian.
In Captain America First Avenger, it's made by Howard Stark for S.H.I.E.L.D., given to Captain America. He then has it all the way till...
he's discovered in the ice.
He's discovered, but then he gets it back straight away once he's defrosted. And then he has it all the way until Civil War. Then Tony takes it back because it's his.
But what about also the Easter egg of it showing up in Iron Man 2, that he uses it to prop up his...
No, that's just a prototype design. It's not even the real shield.
I think it's just an Easter egg.
Yeah, because if you look at it, it's almost as crappy as the one that John Walker makes later on.
So she walks away, but I pointed out that he makes note. It's on camera. Camera zooms in on him, and he says, it's blank, the card that she gives him. I was wondering if that's some kind of connection to the comics.
No, I
would imagine it might be.
I think that was to point out that I'll call you.
Well, yeah, the emphasis is there in many forms too, but just specifically that line, it's blank.
Yeah.
Well, we is that something? There's an organization out there that they're known in the comics as their calling card is
the blank card.
The blank card. It basically means that they will come for you. They will look for you. They will seek you out.
Maybe.
I don't know. It seems like every time I talk about something I don't understand in these,
it shows up in the comics.
It's like, oh no, yeah, there's totally something in the comics that brushes on that. So after that, we cut to the Flag Smashers for the first time, and that's all I wrote down, just so I knew there was a change in scene. So you go ahead and take us away on that one.
Said to you, I didn't like this scene for one reason. It'd have been better them observing their the GRC refugee place from afar, but they don't.
They waltz in.
They waltz in boldly, and where the GRC have just cleared everybody, where the fight started, like it seems like a day before. That is known as a harbour for Flag Smashers. It'd be under surveillance. There'd be troops on them in an instant. So to me, it was a bit silly writing. It'd have been better the better way to show what they, because the whole point of that scene is to prompt Carly to say, we're taking this to the next level.
I think 5 episodes in, this is my biggest criticism of the show as a whole. Too much jumping back and forth from so many of the easiest plot threads. It's not like this is Game of Thrones, where you've got people all over the bloody world in different scenarios. Well, this is we have essentially 3, maybe 4 with Sharon, but you essentially have 3 kind of plot threads. You've got Captain America and
you've got Falcon and
Winter Soldier. You've got Johnny Walker. And you've got the Flag Smashers.
Yeah.
Right? And then people like Carter and Zemo pop in, but when Zemo's here, he's part of Falcon.
Yeah, he's part of their scene.
Plot. So there shouldn't be this much jumping back and forth between things.
Okay.
Because that scene when they walk in, it's like, well, we need to have a moment where we show the Flag Smashers in this episode come back and tell us that, that's it. No, we're the bad guys now, and we're going to embrace that. So we have this set, so we might as well do it there.
Well,
realistically, what you just pointed out, you could take away that silliness of breaking the reality of it and have them do the same thing, but they're stood in the woods up on a hill looking down on the town of Latvia.
Well, not even that. Again, I'm not a professional scriptwriter or any of this stuff, but
I mean, it's a nitpick.
But this is what we're here for. This is what the internet's for. They could have a scene earlier showed them evicting the refugees, which is who the Flag Smashers are fighting for. They could have shown them like hoods up, hidden in a doorway, watching them get evicted,
same thing,
and that pushed Carly to say, "Right, we got to take this to the next level. Move on." But it's lazy script writing.
Well, but I don't think it's lazy script writing, because I think you're not changing the script by doing what you're doing. You're just kind of it's more
making it more believable.
It's more of a production issue. It's more of a production error to me, because the script will probably have it. The storyboard might even be.
Carly's got to have a reason to go to the next level.
Carly and the Flag Smashers reconvene and take note that the people have been evicted from the building and whatnot, and then when it gets to a production and director's standpoint, like, well, we've got this set, so we've got to throw them in there. That to me is more of just an issue, as I pointed out, of constantly going back and forth too much. Spend more time with characters. That's why I think this episode, I like it, regardless of it not being a masterpiece or anything that we would expect from this series. I like it because it has moments like Bucky and Falcon bonding and whatnot.
Yeah.
But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, is there anything we missed from the convening of the Flag Smashers?
No, they just said that they've got to take it to the next level.
All right, so we cut back to Bucky, who's now with Zemo, and they're at the Sokovia Memorial.
Yeah, and Zemo says, "I expected you a lot sooner."
Yeah, and Zemo essentially knows that he's coming. Him and the Spice Melange are here to arrest him. But he gives him what he would obviously consider his parting wisdom in the fact that he urges him that he should stop Carly. She's her and the Flag Smashers are.
He says Carly's beyond help.
Yeah, they need to be stopped. There's nothing. There's no bringing them in. There's no trying to save them. You got to stop them.
The interesting thing from that scene I got was as well is the fact that he thinks James is there to kill him. But when he decides not to, and he drops the Mephisto bullets on the ground, he tells Bucky, he goes, he kind of absolves him, even though he's still a super soldier. He says, "I've crossed myself off your list." As in, like, to me, that was Zemo basically saying to Bucky, "I trust you. You're a good guy. I'm not gonna."
Or you don't come after me, and I won't come after you, and just a friendly nod.
It's
just a nod of understanding. It's the T-Rex and Blue from Jurassic World looking at each other at the end of Jurassic World. I mean, like,
but it's significant.
We're in understanding, and then they both go their own
But it's significant because Zemo's whole thing is to take out all super soldiers, and he knows Bucky's a super soldier.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm okay with you being in existence. So I found that quite poignant.
Yeah, very poignant. It's good.
And then we find out that he's been taken to the raft. We think John Walker's going to end up there. And
Spice Melange have taken him there.
Which is weird because the Dora Milaje have restriction where the Dora Milaje want jurisdiction. So they don't take him back to Wakanda. They decide to take him to the raft, which is weird. Because obviously...
Well, Wakanda has been making a better effort to be part of the international community, have they not?
But that then, as we
I'm gonna reel you in on some of these nitpicks, Matthew.
As we said last week, that we think that Zemo will head the Thunderbolts from the raft. I think that's where Johnny Walker's going to end up as well. But the thing from that scene though to me was, I like the balls on Bucky where she's like, you should stay at. Basically, she says, stay away from Wakanda for the time being, as in like you fucked up by helping this guy escape.
It's like, don't let me see you in my town.
Yeah, but then Bucky's still like, yeah, okay, but I need a favor. I'm like, that's not how favors work. They just told you to stay the fuck away, but you're like, yeah, but
I'll only stay away if you do this for me. Otherwise, I'll be knocking at that shield. Hey!
But so, obviously, Bucky gets a favor from the Wakandans. See, if he used his favor for that case to give to Sam, he missed an. His favor should have been get rid of that fucking release my arm bullshit. Don't fuck Sam.
I imagine they probably wouldn't ever let that card go. So we then
So
go.
do you reckon the Wakandans can press a button in Wakanda and his arm jumps off and then crawls all the way back?
I would imagine there is some kind of device possibly like that. Although they got it, it's almost like an immobilizer that car companies put in your car so that if you don't pay your bill, they can immobilize your engine.
Yeah.
She's got to be careful. They have to be careful because I was wondering with immobilizers that you get on cars, what do they do if they turn that off and you're like it's -30 out? How do they know if you're going to accidentally be stuck in the?
What happens if he's gripping something really hard?
Yeah. What if he's climbing up a ladder?
Yeah. So, do we reckon that's the end of Zemo? We were not going to see him again in the finale.
What?
Well, Zemo's taken off by the Dora Milaje.
Oh, you mean in this season?
Yeah, in this season. Do we think we'll...
Probably, yeah. I think that might be him gone. Because, like I say, what does this show have a little bit too much of a problem with? They don't know how to handle the ensemble cast. They don't know how to handle too many characters.
The main cast is Sam and Bucky.
So this episode, this episode was essentially in the same way that they did this with character development, they also did it with probably like shoring up and
loose ends
and getting rid of some characters they don't need. They moved on from the Dora Milaje, Spice Menage.
Yeah.
And they've also now moved on from Zemo. Very likely. It'd be strange if he comes back, to be honest.
Yeah,
based on the way this episode ended up, it would be weird.
But I don't think that's the end of Zemo in the MCU.
No, of course not.
Let us know what you think. So where do we go next?
So Bucky has gone on his own little errand. Sam's going on his own little errand. And he's returned back to Baltimore to go see Isaiah Bradley.
I like this scene. In fact, I like the...
He's brought him a bag of symbols.
Yeah, that honestly, I said that to you while watching it. Whenever they carry the shield in a bag, why they would carry a shield in a bag when it has its own strap, and it'd be so much cooler just to walk around with the fucking shield out.
Is that why he brings the shield to Isaiah though?
To give it to him.
Yeah.
Because at the moment Sam is still.
It would be funny after all of that talk and whatnot and all that. No. He turns around and says, "Oh wait, no. I just thought you like playing drums. I brought you some zildjians."
But that's the thing. Isaiah should have taken that shield. Because think about it.
Could have gone snow sledding crazy in Baltimore with that thing.
No, think about it. It's this big. How much would that much vibranium get you on the open market?
Quite a bit.
Exactly. That's probably like millions of dollars of vibranium.
That being said, though, like an old geezer in Baltimore alone with
how
much
much vibranium
probably have it taken from him. Although no, he's a super soldier, isn't he?
How much vibranium does Hayward say Vision is? Is it $2 billion?
Billions of dollars.
So that's
a lot of money.
So that shield probably at least $1 million worth of vibranium, if not more. I'd be like, fucking give me that shield, son bitch. I'm going to pawn that shit. Sell it.
How is this relevant?
I'm just saying. Because he brings the shield to Isaiah, and basically throughout that chat, you find out how Isaiah was treated, the fact that his wife was told that he was killed, and he wasn't. He was just thrown in a black hole somewhere to be forgotten. And
he was thrown in black hole.
In a black hole?
Where's black hole?
It's a deep pit to never be experimented on.
Or is it a type of coal called blah?
No.
This is our special coal. We call it blah.
And
black hole.
He says right at that entire story is good to give a bit of background of how he was treated and poorly treated, but it's what he says at the end that about being Captain America. That's why he doesn't take the shield. Do you not think?
Yeah, that's what his whole speech is about. Because I wrote down the quote. Let me find the quote.
Because he says pledge allegiance to that.
Yeah, he finishes up by pointing out that essentially, like the whole mantle of Captain America isn't really something to be revered. He said because he points the race thing is obviously brought in because of what it means to them both individually as black men. But he does point out that they'd never let a black man be Cap, and no self-respecting black man would want to be. And so, yeah, it's a very good way of using the whole race situation to kind of point out that neither of you need to be Captain America.
And so that then puts more doubt in Sam's mind.
Neither of us, sorry.
Yeah, that puts more doubt in Sam's mind whether he should take up the mantle.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to Sam and Bucky,
But
fishing buddies.
No, but real quick before we do that, but don't you think that is, although it's still kind of a poignant question? Because, I mean, you've probably got it made up in your mind that someone's going to become Captain America, but don't you feel like that this show's done a very good job of really actually asking us, the audience, is Captain America something you want to be? Like, is it Captain America that we should be remembering, or is it Steve Rogers that we remember?
See, so this is my thought on this. For the MCU, this show will end with no Captain America. And that's right. Because what made Captain America wasn't the super soldier serum.
It's anti-jingoism.
Well, no, not just that. But what Captain America wasn't the super soldier serum, what made Captain America was Steve Rogers. No one else can be Captain America because Captain America wasn't a person. Steve Rogers was the person. Steve Rogers was the hero.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think the show's trying to give us the curveball that the mantle isn't something that we should be exactly happy about. The whole American jingoistic shtick is something that you need to be questioning and being like, is it something that we really want?
Well, no, the Wakandans don't lay claim to the shield. The Wakandans lay claim to any vibranium because they stay. I think it's in Black Panther that in Age of Ultron, all vibranium is only ever found in Wakanda, so any vibranium that's out there has been stolen. But the shield was made by Howard Stark, so he obviously got his hands on some vibranium when he was part of shield, and he
must have stole it though.
Shield probably stole it, not Howard. But I think this is going the way that it started off. Right at the beginning, Sam gives up the shield because the shield is Steve. And no one can replace Steve.
This is a red herring, possibly.
Yeah.
We had this discussion last week. There's probably quite a few red herrings and then one big Chekhov's gun in here that we might have missed.
Yeah, so that's the way I see it going. Yeah. The fact that his chat with Isaiah Bradley is like the thing that made him think that it's probably best to retire the shield and embrace being the Falcon. So that's where I stand on that.
Yeah. So next we cut to Sam. He's returning home. He's returned to go basically live with Sarah and the boys and whatnot.
Get the ship ready for sail.
And try to help get the ship back up and running. And I don't know why I wrote this in this order because I feel like this is something you discussed with Bucky, but maybe it's something you discussed with Sarah. But he points out that they're basically being benched by the government. They're no longer needed.
To Sarah
they're no longer needed. Is what he tells her.
He's basically telling, because she's asking him what the fuck you doing here in more polite Marvel words, and he basically says we've been put on the sidelines. But that says to me though that most people when they're told by the government stand down, you're done, stand down and they're done. But that says to me that Sam and Bucky, and we find out later on in the episode that they're ready. They're ready as soon as shit goes down, they'll be there. But we don't find that out until a bit later.
But we're still always back, though, with that to the whole issue from Captain America Civil War of
the Sokovia Accords.
Because isn't that something that Cap says though to Tony? He's like, if I'm needed,
if you need me,
I can't turn her away, right? No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
Oh, he says if I see things going south, I have to act.
I have to act, and that's essentially what Sam and Bucky are basically pointing out in that moment. They're like, we're ready in case if something happens that only we can really help with, then we're not going to turn away from it.
That was a line in episode 2 when they say that they're doing some freelance work. The Avengers are always freelance. They were never sanctioned by any government.
Well, no, when they were part of S.H.I.E.L.D. they were. So in the first Avengers, technically they are.
Technically, but they're still part of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is a shadow organization. It's not
S.H.I.E.L.D. is a what's it called, a American defense organization, just like S.W.O.R.D. is a offensive.
It's still more of a shadow organization.
No, but they were. They're still they're sanctioned. They're.
Well, no, the fact that they're not sanctioned is what brings up Captain America: Civil War, the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah, because
there is no sanction.
Because after
Lagos,
Winter Soldier.
After Lagos.
No, after Winter Soldier, we find out that S.H.I.E.L.D. has been infiltrated by Hydra,
and then
S.H.I.E.L.D. collapses at that. And then at that point, before leading into Age of Ultron, the Avengers are now their own thing. They've got the Avengers base and everything.
So we got Sam working on his boat.
Well,
Boatman Sam
yeah, Bucky shows up with a gift.
hits on his sister.
Well, no, he shows up and he's got a gift for him from Wakanda.
He's got Marcellus Wallace's briefcase.
You always like to take my jokes, though.
Well, no, because you set me up for that one. You're explaining it, so I got to put him in.
It was my joke, though. You bastard.
Is it his laundry? I thought it was his soul.
No, nobody knows what it is. It's literal. So you remember we had that argument with our brother about what the definition of a MacGuffin is? That's a MacGuffin.
He's got a MacGuffin in there?
Yeah, he's got a McMuffin in there.
All right.
Oh, sorry, no, a big Kahuna Burger muffin.
Well, this is the stupid thing about, like, I'm sorry. There isn't a person on the planet that is given a gift in a swanky-looking suitcase that doesn't fucking instantly open it.
Well, we'll get into. We'll yeah.
You'd be like, oh, what'd you get me? What'd you get me?
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
We need to.
He's just like,
and
no.
even then we get.
Especially because
Only-
it's from the Wakandans.
Yeah, even then we get to see his reaction when he finally opens
Yeah.
it. The audience don't actually get to see it. So, oh my god, plummeted, didn't it?
Yeah.
So they work on the boat together for a bit and they bond and have laughs.
They should have had music from, like, Cheers playing while that was going on.
Hmm. And yeah, there's also
He hits on his sister.
yeah, and he tells him not to hit on his sister. And then they drink water out of green bottles.
Yeah.
No, that comes later, though. I just wanted to point that out. Well, I had that joke on my head. But then we cut to Walker at Lamar's family's house. You know what I mean? Always going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
And it's a stark contrast in tone as well.
Yeah.
You've got a very jovial, light-hearted Bucky and Sam on a boat doing some things, and then you go to basically John Walker doing what a lot of soldiers have done. He's gone to the grieving parents of their fallen comrades to not just only bring them the bad news, but also try and bring his family closure. And from that to and fro there, that just solidifies.
Well, she inadvertently basically kind of galvanizes the idea in his mind that he was right, and he's gonna.
Yeah, she is that
And he's
That
gonna
scene is-
reclaim his mantle.
is the you are Captain America. Lamar's most proud moment was being your partner.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
And then we go back to the homestead on the dock, on the wharf, and Bucky was asleep. He wakes up to the kids, to Sam's nephews playing around with the shield.
And he
he's
goes for
like,
his-
he kind of like laughs it off those smirks. I didn't want no. It's not like the kids like drop it and run away thinking they're in trouble. And then he goes upstairs and we have Bucky's introspective slow mo scene.
So there you go. We've got 0 now, and we're still on. So it can't be then. We must always have that one. Weird.
I just think that might be what's called a roaming issue though.
Oh, right.
That one will probably be back very very soon. But-
Anyway, carry on.
Well, no, I addressed what I just said. I don't want to say it again.
Well, then we get into his moody walk down the harbour.
I just said that with
Yeah.
Bucky's introspective slow mo scene.
So, but what do you think he's thinking about there?
Hold on, wait. What did you say? His moody.
Moody slow motion walking.
No,
down
no.
the
What
harbour.
did you say? You said you didn't say slow mo. You said his moody walk down the harbour. So hold
Yeah.
on. So let's combine those. Bucky's introspective, moody, slow mo walk down the harbour.
Yeah.
There we go.
Do you know the only thing it was missing was the Twin Peaks music? Doon 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 doon.
I'd never seen Twin Peaks. So
It's great. You should watch it. It's fucked up, but it's great.
I imagine.
Anyway. Onward.
So they come. Yeah, they continue working on the boat, and we get more bonding and ha-has and chilling out moments, and that's where they start drinking water out of green bottles.
Yeah.
Because as you,
Rightly put, water in green bottles looks like beer.
I don't know. Oh, hello, Joe. Thanks for watching. How are
Hello.
you? I don't. No, I disagree with you. I think that's stupid. Like, if you put water in a brown beer bottle, like a Canadian Molson bottle,
Yeah, but Heineken paid me a lot of money to have my empty bottles full of water on there.
they paid you.
Well, if you think about a lot of movie scenes where they drink beer, you never really see what brand the beer is.
No.
Unless it's stated, like in Gran Turismo, where it only drinks PBR. So that was obviously paid for by PBR.
Gran Turismo.
With Clint Eastwood.
You mean Gran Torino?
Gran Torino, yeah.
Gran Turismo's a video
It's
game.
a video game.
You
Um,
numpty.
Yeah, Gran Torino. So PBR obviously paid to have their beer in. Heineken obviously paid to have their beer here. Because it's obvious. You can even see the label, which is unusual.
Isn't it weird that we advertise like booze?
And back in the day we used to advertise cigarettes.
Could you imagine? Yeah, could you imagine here in Canada if all of a sudden they started putting ads up for like ganja and weed and shit?
Why, it's legal, so why not?
No, they're not allowed. It's part of the legislation. They cannot advertise it.
Well, this is the thing that when they just a side note before we carry on with this, when they brought out that cigarettes.
This is about the Falcon of the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, no,
here.
cigarettes were no longer allowed to be advertised in sports and stuff. Surprise cameo, yes. We're going to get on to theory crafting once we finish our output, but I've got an idea who I think the surprise will be.
We're almost through the breakdown.
But yeah, anyway, forget about that. What we're talking about cigarettes. It's not important. Carry on.
It's such an irrelevant segue.
We're just kind of like going off at a tangent there.
So Sarah like basically just kicks them out. She's like, you guys are doing more, making more mess than you're worth. So get out of here. And so we have them now having another bonding scene of them throwing and tossing around the Captain America shield.
Did you not get a very a sense of the room there? Instead of tossing a football around, they're just throwing the.
Hey, so I had a funny, interesting moment when I was out driving around doing my job the other day. I was driving down 199th Street and I saw a field, and there was a bunch of guys in suits throwing a football around. And so I was like, man, all those people who make fun of Tommy Wiseau for like making this really awkward scene that people don't do and that just where guys wouldn't act. I was like,
that's the scene from the room.
There's the proof that guys do that. Guys will just go out into some alleyway or a field or a street in suits and start throwing around fucking footballs.
The only thing that didn't make sense about that scene is when you have the bonding scene before Bucky buggers off.
Sorry. My tangents are getting really, really wild.
Is Sam's throwing it and it's coming back, and then he's throwing it and Bucky's catching it. Bucky's throwing it, but then we jump into Sam's training montage with his flips and his backwards somersaults and all this. But the first time he throws the shield, it's like he's forgot how to throw it, and it bounces off a tree. Yeah, the previous scene he's been throwing it backwards and forwards.
It's not too bad. So they have a discussion that essentially amounts to this line of Sam trying to essentially give Bucky some therapy that he obviously wasn't getting at his real therapist, and he says, you weren't amending when you were doing all those things with his book and with his list. You were avenging.
This is Anthony Mackie's best acting throughout the show so far. Mm-hmm. This scene with Bucky, where he's basically giving him counseling, it's actually really good.
1 out of 5 episodes is still not great.
Hey, I'm trying to give him some doozy here, man.
Well, we got told in the comment section from last week's episode we got to stop shitting on Anthony Mackie.
No, this is actually pretty good, and it obviously says to Bucky, and it's obviously alluding to Bucky that you can give people closure on people that the Winter Soldier has done wrong. So what that's going to lead to is Bucky probably is going to, again, just a bit of theory crafting for next episode. Next episode, Bucky's going to go see the Chinese guy that he's hanging around with and tell him he killed his son, but because the guy doesn't know where his son is, but tell him that that's what's going to happen. He's going to tell him, I killed your son as the Winter Soldier.
My episode 1 note should be in this book.
Yeah.
I want to know what his name is, the old guy. What was his name? Now, these are all WandaVision footnotes.
Yeah.
Crap.
Carry on.
What was his name?
It was some Japanese name.
You just called him Chinese.
Oh, was it Chinese?
Go Google search it.
I'll Google search it where you carry on.
All right, so I keep what's it called, forgetting people's names in these shows. There's far too many characters.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem I find with Captain America, not Captain America, with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is that it's just an ensemble show with two primary protagonists, then they just kind of don't know really how to work with much of the ensemble. I think we did a really good job so far with Zemo, a really good job with John Walker, and also with Falcon and Winter Soldier, but everyone else kind of like, especially Sharon, who I don't know where we're going with that.
I'll tell you in a minute. Carry on.
Oh, you have a theory?
I know.
Oh, okay, so we're going there. So they
Yori is the guy, I think. Yeah, Ken Takamoto.
Yes. Okay. So, you honestly think they're going to bring that guy back?
I think Bucky will face his demons, and he's obviously
he'll go tell him the truth. And
yeah,
tell him
he's going to go tell a lot of people because he makes the point out where Sam says to him, at least make amends with one person, and Bucky's like, well, there's probably a few, and Sam says, well, start with one.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going with that.
So he's like, good talk. Call me if there's a lead, and he leaves.
They have the jovial, well, we'll be ready, but we're not a team. We're not even that good a partnership. And it's a good banter backwards and forwards, I guess.
I think it's earned. As much as
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Anthony Mackie's acting.
No, but the two of them
It's been
since
earned.
Civil War, it's
Yeah.
been built up.
And that's something on our preview show for this series that we were really like hoping that we were speculating like are they going to do a really good job of actually making us like these two characters that for all intents and purposes in the movies so far
Side.
were just little side characters.
And I have
They
one.
even kind of had a little sort of like wink at that as well in John Walker telling him earlier that that whole discussion about wanting to have his best men at his side, Captain America's best men at his side. So we get a moment where he tells us essentially, Sarah, we're not selling the boat. It's gonna be, we're gonna make things right, and then we cut to his shield training montage. Gonna be a montage, the shield training montage.
It's so bad.
South Park.
I'm sorry, it's bad.
Yeah. So
No, montage is Team America Will Police.
it's both. It's South.
Yeah.
This is one in South Park in the episode when they go to Aspen and they don't want to go there. They hate skiing, and like there's the one bully guy who's bullying Stan. And so he like needs to find out how to get better at skiing, and so he goes to the skiing instructor who teaches him how he's got a pizza and French fry.
I just want to know how doing a one-handed handstand flip makes you better at catching
That's
a frisbee.
his move. That's all he's done. He's done it in previous in the movies and whatnot.
Yeah, but he had his wings to help him, and he's thrusted to fly.
But he's practicing it. It's a move. Why would you not practice one of your main moves?
Fucking stupid is what it is.
No, you're just nitpicking again. For
no,
no reason.
it's just
All right, so we
stupid.
cut back to the Flag Smashers who are having a meeting with George.
Okay,
played
so-
by George St.
Okay,
Pierre.
so we missed. I'm sure you wrote it down. Sharon scene.
No.
Yeah, because.
Oh wait, yeah, that's
Yeah.
all the way up here.
Okay, so the Sharon scene is Sharon's on the phone with an Algerian, which we know is George St. Pierre. He's in a prison. He gets out. So Sharon is helping.
I know an Algerian.
Yeah,
My
George.
good friend Jarian,
Get the stuff
Mr.
for the
Jarian.
Flag Smashers. Sharon is the power broker, and I've been saying this for weeks. She's the power broker.
Yeah, she's a power broker, sure. Okay, so then we cut back.
Sharon is Mephisto,
We cut back to the Flag Smashers with George, played
And-
by George St. Pierre.
and she's been set up by the power broker, Sharon.
Could you imagine, like in the casting and that, it's like his agent would be like, you've got to make sure his character's called George though, or he will not respond.
Because he's not a very good actor.
Yeah, he's been punched in the face a little bit too many times, so we need to use his actual
He's
name.
a good Canadian lad.
Yeah. So what was I saying?
Well, he's set up by Sharon, so Sharon's helping the bad guys as well, as she's helped Sam and Bucky. Sharon is the power broker.
Power broker.
Power broker.
What's a broker?
It's a broker, yeah. He shows up and he's got something in a case that looks like some device to cause nefarious means and shit like that. But one thing he does say that's quite poignant, that he's not there for their cause, he's just there to kill the Falcon. So he's not even after Bucky, he just wants to kill Sam for catching him in episode 1.
Mm-hmm. All right, so then we go back to Sam as well for one last scene with him where he's on the phone with I'm doing it now. I was going to call him Correz with Torres.
And what does he say?
Things.
Is he even on the phone with Torres?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Torres has said every single time the Flag Smashers have sent out the signal, it's been in Europe.
And now
But
we've
they
got one
could-
in New York.
They could have been using a VPN, which a multi-level terrorist organization in these modern day times 100% would have been using a VPN.
Especially, I would also first have said probably not, right? Because like they've shown that they're kind of a wholesome terrorist organization. they're the everyman terrorist organization. But then at the end of that actual scene that we have with them, we find out that no, they're everywhere. And she does her little cliched.
Well,
And all of
the
these people who were
yeah.
just chilling out in the park all of a sudden turn around and
The
like, these guys are Flag Smashers too.
Yeah. The reason why they don't hide a VPN is because they want to be seen. They want to bring the GRC down, and the whole purpose is to stop the GRC vote. If the new Captain America suit has Falcon wings, doesn't that make the old Falcon suit Torres? I was saying to Michael didn't realize this, that Torres becomes Falcon in the comics.
I have to throw something back at you on that question, though, Kushal, just because I don't have an answer, but I do have something I can throw at you. Well, War Machine is just another Iron Man, basically,
Yeah.
and I don't know what Pepper Potts' character is called.
Mrs.
I-
Iron Man?
I actually honestly think it's kind of silly that that Sam never was just given an Iron Man suit. I think, to be honest, all of them should be wearing Iron Man suits. Captain America should have been wearing an Iron Man suit.
Well, I said to you, especially seeing as though Iron Man suits now are nanotechnology that can be held in a pair of sunglasses,
Yeah.
why aren't they all wearing it? But anyway.
But see, that's a level of rationality, though, in these movies where if you start getting to that level of rationality, you just got to have someone who's like...
Yeah, there's only really the Hulk and Captain Marvel that
Settle down.
That don't really need Iron Man suits.
It's a superhero movie.
And because Spider-Man has an Iron Man suit, but it's a Spider Iron Man suit.
It's the Iron Spider.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway,
But they should all have one.
They
they should get all the Guardians of the Galaxy before they left Earth after Endgame should have been given Iron Man suits. Should have made a little.
I'd
Iron
love
Man
to
suit
see
for
Rocket in an
Yeah.
Iron Man suit. That'd be awesome. So Kashal's right. Torres does in the comics become the Falcon. So they have that conversation.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he had a question though. The question was, does it make him redundant? Having two having two Falcons?
Well, Falcon was basically redundant anyway. Falcon was Hawkeye, just with wings.
No, don't
bash on
Don't
Hawkeye.
be doing Hawkeye like that,
See,
man.
there we go.
That guy knows
Right.
how to fucking
So,
shoot an arrow.
Let's finish this, and then we'll talk about what we talked about earlier. I just got really excited for some unknown reason. Carry on.
So after his call with Torres, he goes and opens up the case, and we get to see inside it. No, we don't.
Okay,
We'll have to wait till the next scene. No, we have a scene with the GRC as well.
Oh yeah, so the GRC, the way that happens though, it's good though because when she does a whistle, what's a whistle?
That's it. I can't whistle.
Yeah. We see one specific guy walking who's very.
That sounded like the actual whistle. That was really good.
Yeah.
Everybody give him a round of applause. Well done.
And it
Let's hear it again.
I can't do it, come on.
Now that you're on the spot.
That's I can't. I'm smiling.
That was a 9 out of 10. First was a 10 out of 10.
As he's strolling, they focus on one of these random people who are strolling in the park. And then in this scene, you see he's actually a Secret Service person with an earpiece and everything. He goes over and whispers to someone, and then they leave frame, and then everything fucking shuts down. And we know that the Flag Smashers are starting their first attack on New York. Then it ends.
Except...
we have the worst cosplay costume ever montage.
I actually thought he was doing a good job, to be honest. I think that's what they were going for. They were trying to show us that he makes it look like the real one, so that now, even though it isn't made out of vibranium, isn't the real one, it's not about the weapon. It's about the symbol of what it is. So if he's got Captain America's shield, then he is Captain America.
So I just want to. This end scene has a lot of points. First off, the mental stability of John Walker and the mental health that he's going through. That he can't let go, that he isn't Captain America. That's
oh yeah, it basically doubles down on the fact that he's completely suffering from psychosis.
That's
now.
quite heartbreaking though, to see someone fall on that, because he's making a crappy Captain America
damn
shield.
good fucking character, and he's a good
it's a
deep
great
villain.
character.
No, but you did not.
No, this episode really flushed him out for me.
All right.
Not flushed him out, fleshed him out. But this end sequence, so if you take it, I just thought of somebody making a Captain America shield in the garage for their cosplay at Comic-Con.
Well, that's what he was doing, though.
I know, but...
Would it be funny if, like, next episode, it's, like, all about the Flag Smashers versus Falcon Winter Soldier, and he doesn't show up, and then there's an end credit scene, it's just him at San Diego Comic-Con? That's all he ever wanted.
So...
But that's all he's gonna do now is because hey, and they foreshadowed it when the episode when he's talking to the episode previous when he's talking to Lamar and he's talking about does that ever get old? This asking for the
he just
signatures
wants
and
to do
autograph.
the. That's
And
all he wants.
That's all he wants. He just wants to walk through Comic-Con as Captain America, soaking up all the fame, getting
but
all
like
of
you
the
said,
signatures.
it's not vibranium. So let's say he made it out of something that you could throw. He's a super soldier, so let's say he made it of the hardest steel that you could make it out of.
Oh, you see, Yondu uses the same whistle.
Yeah. Everybody.
It's the same
It's the only
sound.
whistle. Only whistle people can do.
It's the same whistle sound effect.
I think that end sequence was
The end credit scene.
End credit scene was a nod to the fact that John Walker's going to be in episode 6, but also it was, like we said, a very clear indication of the poor guy's mental state.
So I'll ask you the same question then. Obviously, I've got the answer already, but I just need to clarify for everyone. You asked who I think Zemo is done in this season. Do you think John Walker is not done this season?
No, I think John Walker will show up in the finale and get arrested and end up at the raft.
Wouldn't it be kind of like absolutely like crushing if he shows up and he does do a good job and
But
he
gets
actually
killed.
helps no, don't get killed. He helps out, but he still gets arrested and taken to the raft.
Yeah, that's what I think will happen, and it will send him.
He's not gonna get in a fight with Bucky and Sam.
No.
He's actually gonna help.
He's
them.
going to show up thinking he's Captain America, and he's going to get arrested, and this is it, and this will cause his further downward spiral because the Thunderbolts is basically the Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad, villains and bad guys put together by Thunderbolt to go do good shit, and Zemo's the leader. And I think John Walker's going to be a part of the MCU.
The Dark Avengers is like the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I did not know that.
I
actually didn't even know the Dark Avengers were a thing, to be honest, until I started reading articles about this show.
Anyway, on to a quick theory cast.
No. We're going to do our final thoughts. Like, do you... so this one I would consider, like, a safe 7 out of 10. 2 episodes in a row now.
This one's a 7. My last 2 were over 8. This one's a 7.
All right.
So theory.
So my mean right now is trending towards a safe 7 for the whole series, unless this final episode
mine's
is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
it's going to probably land at a 7.
Mine's high 7s, low 8s. If the
Nick Fury style.
Yeah, if the finale nails the landing, it'll put it over an 8. If it's mediocre, then it'll be below an 8.
That's that's a good way to segue us into our theory crafting, Kushal. Like so in answer to Joe's question earlier, who do you think supplies a cameo?
Kushal just stole my thunder there.
So there you go. Thunderbolt Ross is a good choice.
I have 2 cameos.
Safe bet.
I have 2 cameos. 2 cameos for the.
How many, Matthew?
2 for the last episode. First one's Thunderbolt Ross, but I think that will be an end scene cameo, like Kushal said. It will show him at the raft talking to Zemo and John Walker, because that's where they both are.
Mm-hmm.
My second cameo is probably way out there, but it will be old Steve Rogers.
Okay, so I want to give,
and I'll tell you how. So basically. Well, no, because I'm going to say
quicker.
Hey, it's for dramatic.
Well, why don't you let me
purpose.
give you? Why don't you let me give?
Okay, I'll give you your 2,
and then you can go and tell us how you think. So because I don't think there'll be 2, but I do want to say that if I just for the purposes of discussion, I will make 2. I will do what I did with WandaVision. I'll say a cameo that I want, but a cameo that I think will probably show up. I think it's already been teased to us. I think we'll get a War Machine cameo in his armor at some point. Who I want is old man Steve, old man Rogers.
What do you guys think? I'll tell you why I think old man Rogers is the cameo that it's the one I want and one I think that I think it'll work. Is Turkish delights are delicious, especially if you get fresh made Turkish delight.
What was the branded Turkish delight we had at the shops in England?
Cadbury's. It was horrible.
In the purple wrapper, yeah.
Yeah, pinky purple wrapper covered in chocolate.
Turkish delight just makes me think of like Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe.
Well, yeah, because it's so fucking good. It's that good it can make you betray your brothers and sisters. So the reason why I think you'll get old Steve, I think Steve will come at the end of the fight when, like we've said, that they retire the Captain America shield. And it'll be Bucky and Sam and Steve. And Steve basically will give his blessing.
You really think Chris Evans has signed up for an episode of this?
Okay. And Steve will give his blessing to the fact that Captain America and the Shield is done. Iron Man's done, and the Captain America's done. And that will be the end of it.
That's crazy because I think we're going to have a hybrid Captain America Falcon. We're going to have...
you think he'll be...
Captain America?
Captain America. Captain Falcon.
Well, that was what. No, there you go. That's how you take what happened with Isaiah and the whole. Should we get rid of the Captain America moniker? He's no longer Captain America. He becomes Captain Falcon.
No, I think in that case, I think you're right. There are Wakandan vibranium
Don't you think that'd be
wings.
Sweet? Yeah. So, I haven't said that on air. We said that off air.
Shit.
So
I
think,
stole your thunder
I
again.
think what's in the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? Would it be crazy if he shows up and it's Sarah's head? Oh shit! And Bucky's like,
sorry man, somebody said freight car.
So I think in the box we've got a set of blue and red and white, like Captain America, like coloured vibranium Falcon wings.
Yeah, that's where I think he'll take the branding, and he won't be Captain America. It will be a Captain America looking vibranium wingsuit, and that and at the end,
Flying Captain America.
but at the end, both Sam and Bucky will make the decision to retire the shield, and Chris Evans will show up as Old Man Rogers in his red cardigan from the neighborhood and give his blessing. And Turkish Delight.
Sure.
Any other theories for episode 6? We're obviously going to get an epic...
The bad guys lose and the good guys win.
Where's the Skybeam coming in?
How do we get a Skybeam in this series?
Maybe that's what George brought Carly, was a Skybeam box. She just puts it on the ground, press a button, and a big Skybeam shows up.
Or maybe the real Skybeam was the friends we made along the way.
Maybe the real Skybeam's Mephisto. He is the Skybeams. Every Skybeam ever was Mephisto.
There was this plan all along.
To Skybeam us to death.
That's why he's been plaguing the MCU with Skybeams.
Anyway.
Non-stop Skybeams.
I'm looking forward to the finale. I'm not looking forward to the gap now to Loki.
Oh, whatever will we do with ourselves?
We'll probably just have to do TRS Live every Thursday.
Well, we'll probably do TRS Live, because I feel like when you think about the kind of tangents we almost went on tonight, we could have some very interesting live discussions.
What we should do is do a TRS Live with an open topic, and then see how far away from that topic we can go with random tangents.
Oh, we can even try to entice a few more viewers this way by advertising it to be a very interactive experience. We'll try to get the chat involved as much as we possibly can.
Well, we're going to go...
Maybe even take polls on what we should discuss, that kind of thing.
Well, that's just it. We're going to go live again tomorrow night with our final episode 6 of the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, an unusual wild Friday night stream will appear.
And then next Thursday, we're going to do another live show. So I've just had this idea. Kashal, you're one of our number one... In fact, you are our number one viewer. Leave a comment for us to what you think we should talk about on our very first non-scripted live topic, and we'll start with that and we'll see where we go.
Yeah, and we've had a few people here watching. I can see we've got 3 likes right now. Hit that like button as much as you can, which is once, unfortunately. But anyway, until next time, we have been TRS Media.
And we hope you enjoyed yourself.
Like, share, and subscribe!